Good morning everyone, it's Carol here at Oak House Journals and I'm going to make a start on this year's Margarete Miller's Collage Challenge. I'm really late making a start on these assignments this year. I got embroiled with the Junk Journal January and I didn't actually do my collages. I was so busy focusing on the daily prompts set for the Junk Journal Challenge. And then with going away, I didn't get started. So I need to catch up. I'm trying to set myself a little bit of a challenge. I've got my fingers crossed that my creative muse is with me, because what I want to do is try and do one of these every day and post a video. I'm not promising because that might be more than I can manage, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get started with the first one. Before I go into the prompts, and this will be old hat to you if you've watched me do these collages before, I just work on a piece of lightweight cardstock. This was the same size as Margarete Miller's planner pages, but I prefer to work on these loose pieces of paper and then bind them into a book at the end of the year. And as you can see, I've just drawn a border all the way around, which is slightly shy of a centimetre, and I work inside that border. So that's that out the way. The first prompt is something associated with water. I've got this first aid cover. I'm going to be using this portion here, which is a cape in North Carolina. I also have this little book of stamps, which as you can see are all of shells, and I've got one loose one here. So I'm thinking I might use that as well. So that's the first prompt. The second prompt is a portion of a poem or a song you enjoy. Well, I love this little ditty here, and we teach it to all the youngsters in our family because it's just a cute little one. And it's a shame because the prompt actually says a portion, because I would actually like to have the whole of that on my page, but never mind, I'll find room for a portion. And all I've done is I've printed the poem out onto some lightweight cardstock so I can rip that down in due course. Pattern paper. Now I've got a portion of paper here, and you're probably thinking, well, that's not patterned paper, it's splattered, there's no pattern on there. Well, I'm arguing yes, there is a pattern by all these splatters, albeit a random pattern. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm also arguing that the embossing on it, which as you can see is running in lines, that creates the pattern as well. Now I'm not going to be using this raised embossed side, I'm going to be using the de-embossed side so that I can get this colour palette in. And obviously you can see why I've chosen this lovely little piece of paper, because of the greys here matching that. Something that is usually kept cold, well obviously this ties in with my poem, but I love this little image because again of the colour palette of my crab, but also because of one of the other prompts, which is a shade of blue. In our fishmongers here in the UK, if you want to go and buy a crab, then they are usually on a bed of ice being kept cold. So that is why I'm using that little image. The next prompt is a light shade of blue. Now I've lifted out this and carefully opened it out. It was a bag, but it's made out of mulberry paper. So I'm hoping you can pick up the lovely threads that are shot through on this piece of mulberry paper, and it's a gorgeous pale blue colour. But I've also lifted out this. Now this is some paper where I had a little bit of a play with the shaving foam technique for getting paint onto paper. Now next to the blue, if I put that blue mulberry paper on there, this actually looks, if I turn it around that way you might be able to see, this actually looks green, but trust me, it is a pale bluey green paint that I used on here, so that will hit the prompt as well. So if my mulberry paper doesn't work, then I will use this. The bonus prompt is an unusual shape or symbol. Now I've lifted out this roll of washi tape, which as you can see has got some Asian writing on it. Their text is an unusual shape to me here in the UK. But I've also lifted out some of these print-on stickers. Now these are washi rub-on stickers. Probably won't use these because the colour I think is going to be wrong. There are some grey ones, bluey grey in the back, so I might be able to use one of those. If not, I have these by LCN Design Studios, and I'll put all the information in the description box below the video if you like the look of these. Now these are just splodges, and I have some blue shapes in amongst these. I've got some more back here. Oh, makes those look actually quite green there. These are more bluey ones, I think, here. Certainly these. So I'm thinking I might be able to use these. Now, these are not a symbol, but they're a shape, and they're an unusual shape, I think. Being splodges, there's no uniformity about them. So I thought I might be able to use one of these and maybe some washi to hit the bonus prompt. Okay, so let me pop these to one side and see what I can create today. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in the card that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to put my quote or my prompts up there. Now this is what I was thinking of as my background, and it's my mulberry paper, so it wants trimming to size. And actually, wow, that looks, even though it's going on to a white background and is pale blue, it actually looks quite bright on there. I'm not so sure that I want something that bright. Let me have a look at this. I think I'll trim this to size and have a look, see what it looks like. So I've got my two background pieces cut out, and I'm liking the look of this blue. It looks lovely. And if I bring this in and my crab, I'm liking how those colours look, but this piece of mulberry paper is looking a very solid blue. So I'm wondering about the other background. So let me bring that in. And I actually quite like the gentleness of the transition from the white border. I don't feel that the grey works particularly well on here. My crab does. So what I'm wondering is whether or not I introduce some of this mulberry paper onto this one, and just have that as an additional background piece, which we're allowed to do, and have my mulberry paper as my prompt piece. And I think that really helps as well, the transition, and adds more interest on here. Yeah, I'm liking that. And I think it will give me a nice piece of detail if I tear the edge as well and make that uneven. The next bit I need to get on really before I do that is my poem. What I should do is glue this background in place first. Okay, so I've glued down my background, and now I'm going to get my bit of poem in, and I'm wondering whether to keep that crabby. It's a bit big. Quite liking just getting that little bit, and if I move that piece of paper across, I can get Who Walks the Shore All Day. I can get that on there. I am going to take this bit away here. I'm going to rip this. Don't particularly want that little bit showing down there, so I'm going to try and use my crab to hide it. So I've been looking at this composition, and I think it's the best that I can come up with, although I am a little bit worried that the word crabby at the top is dominating the page too much. With my little stamp, I folded the edge over here, so I'm going to cut that away now. So I've got some hairdressing scissors for that, and I'm just going to trim off down that side there. I'm just going to pop that so that it breaks up this bottom corner here, and it also breaks up this large area of pattern paper, because if I don't put that there, that stands out a bit like a sore thumb. So I'm thinking I'll have that on there like that, so it breaks up that corner. And I've also decided I'll use the stamps that were on the first day cover and slide them underneath so that I can continue this white edge down here. The blue from the sky picks up the blue on there, but also the brown on this stamp is picked up by that, so it sort of balances it out, I think. So this is how I'm going to have it. So I'm going to glue these pieces in place, but I'm not going to glue them to my background yet, because I'm going to put a torn piece of this in the back, and then I need to get in my symbols. So first things first is just to get these glued into place. So I've been looking at these two pieces of mulberry paper trying to decide which one I like best. So my options are this, which I quite like because it gives me a little bit of detail here, here, here and round the bottom. Or the other option is this piece on there, like that, which sort of frames my piece. Hides a lot of the background though, and doesn't really feel like part of the collage. It just feels like a piece that's there. I'm going to go with this option. Have it so that I have a line coming down here, have this little portion going off there like that. As you can see, I'm just going in with some of that lovely Asian washi tape. So I've put a little bit at the top by the sea, and I put a bit underneath the crab, but decide I don't like it there, so I'm just rearranging that. And here I'm just adding some of those coloured splotches to my page. Basically bottom right hand corner of the crab and top left hand corner by the letter C. So I'm calling it a day here. This is my finished piece, and I have to say I'm really pleased with it. It was a bit of a struggle trying to pull it together, and I think that's just because I'm out of practice. I haven't done any of these collages for about 5-6 weeks now. And I found the same thing last year when I started doing the collages at the start of the year. I felt it was a struggle. So it definitely helps doing these regularly to keep in practice. I love the colour tones that I've got here. I like the fact that I've used that paper as my background paper because it just brings the transition from the white border into the centre. And by adding the blue mulberry paper, that pulls your eye in even more to the centre of the collage, or that's what I think. Using that mulberry paper on its own, the colour would have been too prominent, whereas now I think it's a lot more delicate. As you saw, I used my Asian washi piece there and a piece here, or a couple of pieces down at the bottom there, to hit the bonus prompt of an unusual symbol. And I also use my washi stickers across my piece here to add some intensity of colour. So yeah, all in all, I'm really pleased with this one. And I've just noticed on camera that you're seeing this. This is the back end of one of my cats, his little tails here. He's on my wool embroidery mat, and he's just keeping me company today. So thank you very much, Cooper. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Lovely to have your company today, and I hope you enjoyed seeing this one come together. Look forward to seeing you with the other videos in this year-long series, and yeah, please come keep me company on the rest of these assignments and see how I get on. Until the next video, everybody, take care. Bye bye now.